Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your great support always. I'm so grateful for your continued support to this channel. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. IEBC says 2027 polls will be illegal without boundary review. Details are now emerging as IEBC lawyer George Murugu responded to concern raised by Supreme Court. Judge Njoki Ndung'u stated that the effect of ignoring the delimitation exercise is far-reaching. And so, according to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, that is IEBC, has told the Supreme Court that the holding the 2027 general election without reviewing electoral boundaries will be unconstitutional and could invalidate the entire process. And so the commission, through its lawyers, admitted that the legal deadline for the exercise had already passed. Ladies and gentlemen, before we continue, as you always do, ensure you like the video. And like the video, you automatically support the work that I'm doing in this channel, because sometimes you watch and you forget liking the video. So this is just a reminder. As you watch, please consider liking the video. Thank you so much for that like. However, according to the IEBC, it argued that skipping the boundary review will lead to an election that lacks credibility and exposes the results to legal challenge. So this is what IEBC is telling us. Now, IEBC lawyer George Murugu, responding to concerns raised by the Supreme Court judge Njoki Ndung'u, stands that the effect of ignoring the delimitation exercise is far-reaching, and in fact, even the deadline is over. This is what Justice Njoki Ndung'u asked. A very, very serious question. Does it mean that without the delimitation exercise being carried out as ordered by the Constitution and the timelines having passed, it will affect the legitimacy of the 2027 general election or result? My answer is yes. Murugu said, as reported by the Standard. Judge Njoki's question followed the commission admission that last delimitation of boundaries took place in March 2012, meaning the constitutional requirement to review them every 8 to 12 years has already been violated. So IEBC's other lawyer, Edwin Mukele, suggested the commission should be allowed to complete the process by July 2026. But on the same note, he argued that failing to meet this deadline will have cascading effect of the entire electoral process, including voter registration, auditing, and inspection of the voter register. And this is what the lawyer said. If IEBC is not allowed to review the boundaries, there will be a ripple effect. The election be a lot of transfer of voters, audit, and inspection of the register. And that is an extreme matter for this court to consider as the election is around the corner. That is the lawyer of the IEBC, Mukele. Of course, he further noted that relying on outdated census figures tied to the current boundaries will lead to unfair representation and deny citizens equal development opportunities after 2027. And this is what Justice Lenaola quoted, saying this. The judges questioned why the IEBC had waited until the last minute. So Justice Isaac Lenaola took issue with the legal request filed by IEBC CEO Marjan Hussein Marjan, questioning, of course, whether the Supreme Court was being asked to legalize a breach of the Constitution. And this is what Lenaola said. The breach is continuing, and by the court extending the timelines without the mandate of the Constitution, are you asking the court to breach the Constitution itself? And that is the question that these lawyers were asked. So, of course, he added that the situation had been more complicated by High Court Judge Lawrence Mugambi's ruling that halted the vetting of President William Ruto's IEBC nominees. Remember, as we speak, the vetting that was expected before the National Assembly has been halted. So the Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu also questioned the Attorney General's position in the matter. And she asked whether the Attorney General was playing both sides. Nothing that previous advice to the IEBC had encouraged the Commission to seek the court's guidance. So the scenario with this IEBC is bringing a lot of problem. And so Principal State Counsel Odiwuor Kaumba, representing the Attorney General, said the office had advised Marjan not to file suit on behalf of the Commission, as it lacked a full panel for commissioners, and she stated that the timelines for the elimination were fixed in law and had already lapsed. And she told the court that under the law, no boundary review can take place unless all 7 commissioners are in office. So the current vacuum, according to the Attorney General, renders the entire process null and void. So the Attorney General's position, however, contradicts that of the predecessor, Justin Muturi. In April 2024, Justin told Marjan that failing to carry out boundary delimitation within the required period will open the IEBC to lawsuit and allegations of violating the constitutional right for fair representation. Now, he also advised only the Supreme Court could issue authoritative guidance on how to proceed in such scenario. So Marjan said that after receiving Muturi's letter, the Commission had no option but to seek the court's opinion. So he warned that Kenya risks going into its second election cycle under the 2010 Constitution without updated boundaries, which will lead to unfair and unequal representation in all 1,882 elective positions. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Drop your opinion at the comment section below. Otherwise, thank you so much because of your great support. Please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing this video till we meet in another video.